As a young person in Nigeria today, we're busy with our lives, making use of our bodies to carry on every single aspect of life without stopping a bit to pay attention to our health. Meanwhile, we battle a number of health issues that we may have ignored, and if unattended for a long time, we are at risk of fatality. Hello and welcome to Your Wellness. I'm Aisha Salihu, and today I urge you to take a cue from some of these health issues affecting young people, and they don't even know much about them. Depression and anxiety are among the leading causes of illness and disability among young adolescents, and suicide is among the leading causes of death in people aged 15 to 19 years. Half of all mental health disorders in adulthood start by age 14, but most cases are undetected and untreated. It is then alarming that the second most common cause of mortality for adolescents between the ages of 15 and 24 is suicide. Many factors have an impact on the well-being and mental health of adolescents. Violence, poverty, stigma, exclusion, and living in humanitarian and fragile settings can increase the risk of developing mental health problems.
A lot of young people today face a number of challenges that put them at risk for health problems, and one of them include the desire to get rich quick, and this has plunged them into many activities such as scamming, gambling, violence, and other dubious activities.
Approximately 12 million girls aged 15 to 19 years and at least 777,000 girls under 15 years give birth each year in developing regions. Complications from pregnancy and childbirth are among the leading causes of death for girls aged 15 to 19 years globally. The global adolescent birth rate in 2021 was 42 births per 1,000 girls this age, and country rates range from 1 to over 200 births per 1,000 girls annually. This indicates a marked decrease since 1990. This decrease is reflected in a similar decline in maternal mortality rates among young girls aged 15 to 19 years.
A great number of maternal mortality is due to early pregnancy and childbirth. And the reason is obvious, because pregnancy is a condition that predisposes women to a number of risk factors. The body tries to adjust during pregnancy by increasing the cardiac output, the heart rate, the blood pressure, and even after childbirth, the body also tries to increase milk production, getting the mother ready for lactation. And so there are many number of adjustments that the body makes to accommodate pregnancy and childbirth. And there are also challenges that are associated with that, such as increased weight gain and even depression after childbirth. So all these increase mortality among young women between the ages of 15 to 24, and so it requires one to be mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared for it, and that is not usually obtainable in females that undergo early pregnancy and childbirth.
The vast majority of people using tobacco today began doing so when they were adolescents. Globally, in 2018, at least 1 in 10 adolescents aged 13 to 15 years uses tobacco, although there are areas where this figure is much higher. Cigarettes are particularly risky when used by children and adolescents. Nicotine is highly addictive, and young people's brains develop up to their mid-20s. Drinking alcohol among adolescents is a major concern in many countries today. Worldwide, more than a quarter of all people aged 15 to 19 years are current drinkers, amounting to 155 million adolescents. Prevalence of heavy episodic drinking among adolescents aged 15 to 19 years was 13.6% in 2016, with males most at risk, of course. Cannabis is the most widely used psychoactive drug among young people, with about 4.7% of people aged 15 to 16 years using it at least once in 2018. Alcohol and drug use in children and adolescents is associated with neurocognitive alterations, which can lead to behavioral, emotional, social, and academic problems in later life.
There are many number of reasons, and they are not far-fetched. One is that sometimes people turn to alcohol to cope with life's anxieties and stress. Some use it as a form to battle depression, and some just want to belong, probably to a club, a society, or a group of friends, and so they go out drinking with them. And some take it for the euphoria, because some drugs are quite psychoactive and they get you high, so to speak. So some take these drugs just to get high, to feel high, like other people. And some take the drugs to numb pain, probably childhood pain, trauma, or breakups from love relationship, and some take it to get themselves prepared for an activity which they normally would not undertake in their when they are in their normal senses. So there are a number of reasons why young people indulge themselves in alcohol and drug abuse.
Interpersonal violence is among the leading causes of death in adolescents and young people globally. Its prominence varies substantially by world region. It causes nearly a third of all adolescent male deaths in low and middle income countries. Violence during adolescence also increases the risks of injury, HIV, and other sexually transmitted infections, mental health problems, poor school performance and dropout, early pregnancy, reproductive health problems, and communicable and non-communicable diseases.
One who indulges in violence can be injured, be killed, and if one sustains injury from violent activities, it can really it can predispose to disabilities in life, which the person may start contemplating suicide if care is not taken. So violent activities are really quite adverse for the health of the individual.
In 2019, 115,000 adolescents aged 10 to 19 years died as a result of road traffic accidents. Many of those who died were vulnerable road users, including pedestrians, of course, cyclists, or users of motorized two-wheelers.
Road traffic accidents is a major cause of health concerns for people of all ages, but especially the young people, because road traffic accidents predispose them to disabilities. One who is a road traffic accident victim can have his skull, ribs, limbs, bones of the limbs fractured, and can develop internal bleeding from there. And more so, internal organs such as the liver can also be lacerated. And so is a great concern for mortality among young ones. And even if one escapes mortality, one can be disabled. Some can be permanent, become paralyzed if the upper spinal cord are involved. And if it's not involved, one can lose a limb, and that is a major cause of depression and even suicidal thoughts, because these accidents occur at the prime of life. So one can say, I can't take this anymore, I will want to end his life. So it's quite is something that shouldn't be neglected when it occurs in young people.
So, what can you do as a young person to not become another statistic? Here are 7 ways you can take control of your health. The number of preventable causes of death is smoking. Stop smoking if you don't already. If you smoke, figure out how to stop. Manage problems like diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol in conjunction with your doctor. Taking any recommended medications is part of this. Consume foods that are low in sodium, added sugar, trans fat, and saturated fat. Aim to have whole grains, fruits, and veggies on at least half of your plate. Limit your daily salt intake to 1,500 milligrams. Get active every week for at least 90 to 150 minutes. For a total of 30 minutes of exercise every day, you can even divide the workout into 10-minute halves. If you're overweight, losing even 4.5 kilograms can reduce your risk of developing blood pressure and other non-communicable diseases. Limit your daily alcohol consumption to 2 drinks for men and 1 drink for women. Receive mental health support. There is no doubt that the needs of young people with mental health issues must be addressed. There are several strategies to manage mental health issues, including avoiding institutionalization and over-medicalization, giving non-pharmacological methods priority, and respecting children's rights. Why don't you take that responsibility now that your body is still young and ready to adapt to healthy lifestyle changes? You owe that much to yourself. I'll see you again on our next Wellness Talk. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Daily Trust. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Daily Trust. Follow us on X at Daily_Trust. On TikTok, The Daily Trust. I'm Aisha Salihu. Stay young, stay healthy.